Hello guys, Alpha Smurf back again. 大家好，陈兄回来了。这次会谈攻击、防守跟你的命哪一个会比较重要一些。So today's stream will be once again educational stuff. So if you are not interested in lots mobile mechanics, I suggest you go to other channels and yep, it's going to be very dry. So today is about attack, HP versus defense. You know, and also to address one of the viewers' questions about what is better. I think one of you posted a question over here. You know, I pay attention to all your comments, even if there's so many of them. So, yep. One of you asked me this question. Why do you use purple plaque rings over purple straw? So as promised, I say I did some computation, and I will justify it in this video. That's I'm doing right now. Alright? So without further ado, let's start. So today's topic is about this thing. How much exactly better is attack versus health versus defense? You know, there's a lot of YouTubers out there, and many people already say attack is better than health, HP, and HP is better than defense. It's always this order. Alright, so I don't disagree with them. Definitely I agree with them, because attack is indeed better than HP and defense. But the thing is, all the YouTubers out there, no doubt they say this, they didn't really give a summary or better insights of how much exactly better is attack versus health, and how much exactly better is HP versus defense. All they give is a more generic generic statement that's saying, okay, attack is better than health and health is better than defense. But today I'm here to give you the numbers and how much exactly is 1% of attack more. Is 1% attack better than 2% of health, or 3% of health? Or is 1% of HP better than 5% of defense? So I'm going to drill down into this. So if you're not into numbers and stats, then perhaps you should not watch. Continue watching. So if you're interested in all these stats and results, continue and watch. So I give a better summary and insights about all these stats, as well as one of my viewers posted these questions about why don't I use a epic burning straw instead of, because I was using epic plague ring in my setup. So I will explain why epic plague ring is better than epic burning straw. But first of all, let me explain and give you an overview and explanation of why attack, health, and defense. How I drill down into the stats about how much attack is better than how much health. Alright, so let's move on. You know, I watched this video of VNC3 Warchasm Mao. They did a lot of testing about attack, health, defense videos. It's very similar, but they lack the summary insights. But Mao videos actually have quite a good testing, so I would like to point it out. So credits to him. Let us have a quick look at his testings. this is his testings. So what he did was he set up a trickster and set up a camp. And consistently he set up a camp of 1000 troops and allow his opponent to hit him with a consistent variables, consistent parameters. Everything is the same except for increasing in terms of the attack, the HP, and the defense. So let's go through the important parts, and I will give a quick recap after this. So what he did was this. He sent a default 1000 troops. Alright, so what is going on is 1000 troops in a camp and 1000 troops attackers consistently. They rinse and repeat again and again. So his default stats is this. Let me show you. His stats is to the minimum for all of them, which means it's all two-way, just enough to unlock the next level. So it's all 5 here, 5 here, all the way to here, except for squad health. Alright, so that's by and large he keep his talent tree remain unchanged. So this is his result. This is the first one. Alright, so I'll just write it down first so that we will know. I will try to give a summary after this. So this is the first default state. So how much Q? He have 236 Q for the first one, and losses was 184. And if you watch my previous videos, I tend to use net Qs as a way to ascertain how effective is a attack. So we use the total Qs less of the total losses. This means that as long as the Qs, the net Qs, is a very big amount, it shows that their attack is more successful. So having a more lower amount means it fail. Higher amount is better. Alright, so this is we use net Q as a basis. So this is his first one. So after the first attack, right, what he varies is he increased the attack. Let's have a look. What did he change? So what he did was he increased from 5 points of infantry offense 3, he maxed it out. So this is one of the variable change for the second attack he's going to do. The second, he increased infantry offense 2 from level 5 to max out. These are the two variables he changed for the second attack. So just bear in mind the variables that changed. So along the way, towards the end, I will explain what is it like. Alright, so the variables change are as follows. You know, infantry attack, this is the things he changed. See this? From 0.9% he increased all the way to 53%. And for infantry offense 2, from 0.9% he increased to 10%. So this means that, let's write down in words, as in document down. So 53% minus 0.9. This is the first difference. You add 10% minus 0.9. This is the total percentage change for the first round. So after that, what he did was this. He sent exactly the same camp out and allow his teammate to attack it with using the same variables remain unchanged. So this is his result. Alright. So it's 176180. 276. 180. The net Qs. Alright, so just bear this in mind. Just an increase in attack by 61.2%. The net Q increased significantly from 52 to 96. This is the increase. Alright, let's move on. The other part is this. So after doing the increase in attack setup, he went on to increase HP. As you can see, he increased his squad health level 2 from 0% all the way to 87%. Alright? 87%. That is it. So, just record it down as usual. So only difference here is 87% of health. So let's see what is the results. Alright, this is the result. 2801448. 2801448. So the net Q, look at that. Just an increase of 87% of health. 87% of health. The net Qs increase significantly. Alright, let me repeat. Net Qs is the total Qs less of your total losses. So throughout this whole stream, I will use this net Qs as a basis to ascertain whether that changes make to the attack, health, or defense. How much does it help in terms of the overall effectiveness of the attack and defense? Alright, so this is a better basis rather than say how much wounded, how much Qs, how much losses. Long story short, use net Qs as a basis, because this actually include both of them, and we can see the magnitude and the changes of how much it did to the net Qs. Okay, the last part is he increased the defense. So you go to this part of the video. Let's see how much it increased first. So effectively he increased squad defense from 0%, squad defense level 2, from 0% to 87%. And now he go for the second hit, for the last hit. Alright, so as usual, we document it down again. 87%. For this time around, the variable change is the defense. So let's see what is the results like for the attack. Two 140. 140. The net Q is 144. Alright, I have gone through the test results accordingly and draft out all the net Qs accordingly. So now comes the important part. We must understand that this test itself it's not 100%, it's not the best foolproof 100% accurate test, because you have to bear in mind that this is done by someone with a certain stats, base stats. So for instance, let's say someone with higher stats, base stats, do the same testing. Results might vary slightly. This is something that we couldn't really add in the unknown variable, but by and large should be more or less quite a decent testing that we can rely upon. Alright, so let's move on. from this, what does this tells us? It tells us this. If, pay attention to this, if the attack were to be increased by 71.2%, alright, so the additional troops killed will be this, less of this, alright, because this is the first hit he did with a default setup without any attack boost, and the only variable he changed for the second attack was this 61.2% attack on the infantry. So everything remained unchanged. So the total troop save was this. Four troops. So the addition kills. Alright, so use this as a basis. So there is 44 additional Q and save. I mean, net Q is better. This is the addition net Q. Alright, so what is for the health? Health, as usual, 87%. This less of this. And this, less of this. And this is the addition net Q for an increase of 87% health. Last but not least, defense. Okay, from the results of this, it draw down a conclusion. Alright. So I tend to be a very precise and demanding person because I think it's occupation hazard. I'm an auditor by occupation, so I tend to be more stringent and demanding in doing testings and coming out with numbers. So when I put forth the numbers and charts and stuff like that, I make sure I verify it and do calculations and verify with tests before I present to you the numbers. So this is the numbers I come up with. You see, 61.2%. This will effectively mean that, let's make it, when you compare stats, it's always use the apple to apple comparison. You couldn't use an apple and compare it with a watermelon. So in order to have an apple to apple comparison, we have to make it the stats similar. So what I did was 61.2%. You try to extrapolate it to 100%. And what is the difference like? This is what I got. Alright? So effectively, assuming an increase of 100% for each of the stats, you will get all the stats. You will get all the stats. Okay? Which means 100% of attack will helps in terms of increasing 72 net Q. 100% health will increase 41 net Q. And as also for defense, 100% defense will increase 14 net Q. So put this into a points perspective. Assuming 1%, 1 point represent 1% of defense. I repeat, 1 point of strength over here represent, let me try, 1 point of strength over here represent 1% of defense. This effectively means that 1% of health represent 3 points of defense. 3 points. Alright? And 1% of attack represent 5.21 times of defense. So this is effectively what this test is trying to tell you about. Alright? Let me make sure all the numbers are correct. So what does this tell us about 1% of attack? So this means that it's approximately 5.21% better than health. Alright? So this was a testing done by Mao. So before we move on to the last part of comparing the different gears, let me double check on something first. Okay, let's continue. This tells us that 1% of attack is 5.21 times better than 1% of attack defense. So put this into gears perspective. So when you compare Epic Plague Ring versus Epic Purple Burning Straw, the way to ascertain whether one is better than another, you know, a lot of people will actually give a lot of recommendation. They say one say Plague Ring is much better, while another one will say no, Burning Straw is better in terms of army attack and army defense. But the thing is, they fail to address something. They didn't use numbers to verify how much better it is. You see, when people compare Gold Champ, it's a common consensus that people will know Gold Champ is much better than any of them. Even the Purple Champ is better than Purple Plague Ring, Purple Burning Straw. Why do they say so? Because of the stats. The stats in the Gold Champ itself. They have so much health, so much defense, so much attack in it that can override everything. So how do we really know whether Epic Plague Ring is better or Epic Burning Straw is better? So I have a method to see how it plays out based on what we've done so far. See this? I will use this as a basis to see which is better, based on the point system over here. Alright? But just bear in mind, that's the reason why I put a fine print over here. This data will subject to more conclusive and more extensive testing for further accuracy. But by and large, what Mao tests, right, is reasonable data that we can rely upon. Alright? Because he varies the increase in attack increase the health in a manner that doesn't really jeopardize the other test results. So he's doing it in a very systematic way. So we still can rely on the results. But bear in mind, it's not 100% that we must rely upon. Alright, so what is an epic stroke? You see my gear over here? Epic Plague Ring. And compared to Epic Burning Straw. So let's go to the workshop so that we can see the stats, the raw stats by itself. They are accessory. They are both purple. So look at this. Epic Plague Ring gives 8.5% range attack, army defense, army max health. Alright, so this is what he gives. Ignore all the results because all this is old data. Let's focus on this first. 8.85 range attack, army defense, and army health. So let's say you want to know the strength of this item. A reasonable way is to relate back to the testing we had so far. Still remember the testing? 1% of attack represent, not this, 1% of attack represent 4.21 points, and 1% of defense represent 1 point, and 1% of health represent 3 points. So this is one that we should rely upon. Let's hide this because these are old data. Okay, so this means that in terms of points, range attack will give this point, and army defense will this times 3, because army defense include infantry, cavalry, and range. 3 of them. We don't include the siege because siege won't be that relevant anyway. Army health will be this times this times 3. Alright? So these are the data. Epic Plague Ring will give a total strength of 160 points of strength. So what does Burning Straw gives? Still remember here? Burning Straw gives 5.85% army attack and 5.85% army max health. So to translate it to points system that we computed so far, this will mean that this will give this times 3, because always note that for army, you have to include infantry, cavalry, and range. Same for this. Times 3. In terms of points, can you see that? Let me highlight that. So Epic Plague Ring will give 160 gross strength points, whereas Epic Burning Straw will give 144 gross strength points. based on the testing we did so far. So to go no, who posted this question regarding why don't I use epic burning straw as compared to epic plague ring. So this is my answer for you. In terms of overall performance, epic plague ring is able to offer me more stats in an overall basis in terms of health, defense, attack to give the maximum net kills. Because all the strength that we mentioned so far is on the basis of how effectively you can add into the additional net kills. So whenever you want to ascertain whether gear is good or bad, refer back to this thing and use gross digit numbers and see which is better. Because ultimately, what is more important in the rally, in the darkness, in guild showdown, in battle, everything, right? It all depends on how much net kills improvement you can have. Alright, this is the fundamental of lots more mechanics. So let's move on. So what about epic legendary plague rings and legendary burning straw? Legendary plague ring will give 14% range attack, 15, 15, 25 in all the war defense, and burning straw will give 9% of army attack health and army attack defense. Sorry, max health. So this translate to this. Same thing. Let's use the same formula over here so that we don't mess up anything at all. This is the same. This is the same. This is the same. Let's see the difference. $252 points for plague rings, legendary plague rings, and 221 points for legendary burning straw. So regardless of epic, legendary, plague rings trump over burning straw. So I hope this addressed your question. Go no. Yes, Go no, who posted this question in my YouTube about why plague rings should not be used instead. This is my answer for you. Because in terms of overall stats per se, plague rings can offer more. Alright, so but the thing is, let's say you want to attack someone that is in a full infantry, full cavalry, then it's a different thing, because ultimately this is very subjective. It all depends on how much you use the range in the plague ring. Because let's say in terms of just stats per se, plague rings offer more. But if you're a guy that is always attacking in full infantry and full cavalry, then perhaps burning straw is more suitable for you. Because ultimately you won't be utilizing the range attack over here. The more relevant in your formula, in your solution, is army attack. So it always boils down to what kind of troop type player you are. But let's say you are a mix and you do things in a random way, which means you will use equal chance of using range, equal chance of using infantry, equal chance of using cavalry. Then look at the stats. Look at how much strength points does a item like plague ring gives. Since plague ring gives 252, is definitely better than burning straw that gives 221. Alright? It's the points that matter, because points ultimately will boils down into the total net kills you will have in the long run and how much troops you can save. Okay? This is the okay, next thing. You know my gear. I included this Blue Ambrosia Cup. Blue one. Why did I do so? Why did I include this blue Ambro Cup? The reason is because if I put this stats, just the raw stats, into computation for blue cup, it is actually better than an epic plague ring. Let me show you why. So as usual, we go back to this to have a look at the raw stats of a blue cup. Okay, sorry. Blue cup give 11.75 range attack and 7% health and range health 7%. So document down and see what result it gives. So this is the result, blue cup. So in terms of stats point, similarly we use the same method. Alright. 11.75 multiplied by what? By this. This is what we computed so far. Same for this. What about range health? Can you see? 164 stats point. 164. And what is plague rings? Plague ring only give 160, and burning straw epic one 144. So even for a blue grade cup, it is already better than the purple grade plague rings or burning straw. That's the reason why cup is so much better. Okay, put this into perspective. Let's say you are rich enough like Brand Chong, who spent like 20,000-30,000 just to max out the cup to go level. Sorry, one step at a time first. Let's say you are rich and you max out Ambrosia Cup to purple. So what is the strength of this Ambrosia Cup? 16% each and 9.5% for infantry and range. This translates to a strength of this. For purple level, the stats, gross stats, is 223. 223. And compare it to legendary burning straw. This tells us something very important. If let's say you have a epic Emerald Cup and you have a legendary burning straw, and you do things in a way that whereby you attack in the equal chance of using your infantry, your range, your cavalry, then Ambrosia Cup is definitely better, especially if you use majority infantry and range. Alright, in terms of stats value. So same for the legendary. So legendary level for cup is 25. So put down into stats per se, that would be 350%. Sorry, 350 points. So for those who are curious, how do I get this number? This number is actually based on the computation we did earlier, the testing, which represent 1% of defense is 1 point of strength. So it's a means to measure the magnitude of the equipment. How strong is the equipment? So let's say you are someone like this guy. Let's find a guy that is epic and spend crazy ton amount. There's a billionaire in this game. This guy. Let's find him. S9S Wuti. This is the one. You know this guy? He spent 11k on heroes and he have maxed out pretty much all the gears. So how much does this one piece of accessory cost? And how does it flare against a typical epic stroll, a legendary card, a legendary burning stroll? How much better is one of these? I'm sure some of you are curious, like, is it worth it to spend so much on this game? Because effectively, if you spend all this, on average, ignoring the probability of chance, it will take near to 100,000 USD. If let's say you neglect away the probability of chance, it's around 100,000 USD to get one full set of champ gears. Not to say if let's say you get the full in cuff, in range as well as the cuff range, that would be 300,000. I think he probably spent that amount, but we don't know. So let's assume this one. How much better is this compared to a Go Plague Ring or Go Burning Stroll? Let me show you. This means sorry, I don't have that. So look at this. A champion faith gives 15% infantry attack, 15% cavalry attack. What makes this so godlike is, look at this, army attack and army max health, 10% and 25%. Let's put this into perspective. How strong is actually this compared to a legendary legendary burning stroll as well as legendary plague rings? I put it down here. Champion faith. It's a gold grade. So what it gives is infantry attack, infantry attack, 15%, cavalry attack, 15%, army attack. This is the godly one. I have no idea. That's the reason why they spend so much on the game. Let me show you. It's 10%. Alright? And last but not least, 25% for max health. Let me double check whether the formula is correct. Army attack should be this, multiplied by 3, because bear in mind that army attack you have to include infantry, cavalry and range, multiplied by this that we tested just now. This is the one. Health is this times 3 times this. In terms of stats and the strength of this item Champion's Faith, it offers so much stats that, you see, even a legendary Ambrosial card only gives 350 points in terms of the gross stats, but a Champion Faith gives 537. So that's the power of a piece of the accessory. So put this into perspective. This Champion Faith, one of them, if you get this to go, is equivalent to having more than 2 epic burning straw. More than 3. Oh my god, this is crazy. Look at this, look at this. Look at this, look at the points. Can you see the difference? Let's say, let me give you an example. I have this guildmate, have a burning straw inside him. So let's see. Oh no, he's not using burning straw now. You see this guy, general dude in my guild. He's using burning straw, teardrum, as well as Terravel. You know why I will never recommend people to use this kind of setup? Because teardrum and Terravel and teardrum offers very little stats. And burning, the only stats that give majority for him is actually this burning straw over here. Let me show you. Because fear drum give you this. Did I save it somewhere? Never mind. Let's go back again. You see fear drum? It only gives you one stats, 16% cavalry attack. And the siege engine attack is useless. Alright, so in terms of war perspective, how much it gets to offer you is only Calf attack 16%, as well as Calf max health of 5.5%. So if you put this down, this is effectively what it gives you. Calf attack, Calf max health. Ignore this because let's delete this. This is 5.5. So put this into points perspective. How much is this? One piece of Terravel, how much is it giving? It gives. You'll be surprised how much it gives. You'll be surprised. You see that? A gold terror. Sorry, this is teardrum. Fear drum. A gold fear drum. It offers and give overall strength in terms of stats. Because I use this as a basis to see what kind of stats it offers. This only give 99.89 stats. Let's compare to a legendary burning straw. A legendary burning straw is crazy. It's 2-1. So if let's say you have a blue epic straw, it's still better than a gold fear drum. And let's say you have a purple epic plight ring, alright, it's still better than a gold fear drum. That's how terrible fear drum is. So don't be a guy that always think that gold is much better than epic grade, because it all depends and all boils down in what kind of stats it's giving you. Okay, so Yes, don't be the guy that always don't think that gold is much better. So Terravel, Fear Drum, they offers minimum stats. So if you have Burning Stroll, Plague Rings, Cups, use them instead, even if they are lower grades. So just use this formula for you to have a basis of whether that is much better or not. So I think I have to go through a lot of details about this mechanics of comparing two things. I do two things. I explain how much exactly better is attack versus health versus defense, and the second part is about gear comparison. How do we ascertain how much better is one piece of gear relic better than another piece of relic? So that is the stream all about. So if you have any questions, feel free to post in my comments and I'll be glad to answer all of them. So with that, I guess I will end the stream. Because this is getting too lengthy already. It's near 50 minutes. So I think I have explained very detailedly of how much better is attack versus health versus defense over here. Just bear in mind of the fine prints, and hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Alright, without further ado, thank you guys. 所有华人，谢谢你们观看，再见，拜拜。